time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome once again to The Pet Show. Is your Pyrenees acting paranoid? Does your calico need some counseling? Do your Labradoodles have you headed for the loony bin? You know they do. Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and want to truly understand your dog or cat's behavior almost as well as they get yours, or if you just want to improve your dog or cat's lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. That's right, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and pet lifestyle show. This is truly a show for pets and the people that love them. So I want you to hop up on my couch. Bring that furry little buddy with you, folks, because you know what time it is. It's time to let the animal analyzing begin. Hello, everybody. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. If you want to join me on the ever-growing Pet Show family, if you have a question or a comment about your dog's behavior, maybe you just want to let me know about a wonderful dog or cat you adopted or rescued in the last year or two, or maybe you want to talk about a dog that you grew up with that made you love animals the way you do, or maybe you have a question about the fact that your dog is peeing and your cat's not using the litter box and your dog's humping everything in sight. We'll deal with that as well. So if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat's behavior, need some help in resolving any issues they may be having, jumping, humping, digging, scratching, great time to give me a call. By the way, if you're new to the show, great. If you're new to the show, super. If you're a regular listener to the show, welcome back. Here's the bottom line. Everyone that calls into the Pet Show today, everyone, and gets to talk to me live on the air will get a fabulous gift for your dog or cat. Many of the items I give away are worth $30, $40, even $50. So if you have a question or a comment or just want to share a great story about your dog or cat's behavior, or maybe you're a little confused about why your dog does certain things or exposes his belly, or why your cat raises its paw, why your dog's tail is always going back and forth or maybe not going back and forth, why your dog believes if he sees something outside, he's got to run up to it and hump it. Whatever your question may be, this is the place where we have the answers. Everyone, as I said, that calls in and has a question or a comment will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Phone number here at the Pet Show. Yeah, the lines are open right now. Alex promises me they are, and so does Suzette. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. Perhaps you want to, you're a number person like me. That's 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. Before I tell you what's coming up on the show, again, if you're new to the show, you may not be aware of some of the items I give away on the show and why some are so expensive. Very often, the item I'm going to be giving to you if you call in and talk to me is related to the question you may have. For example, if you have a dog that's scooting his butt on the floor, well, I have a product that may help resolve that issue. So whatever your question or comment may be, great time to give me a call. Hang in there. I may get your calls. It may take me a while to get there, but I promise I will. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Here's what I have planned for today's show. You know by now, I may not get to all of it. That's why it's so important that if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you subscribe there, because whatever I don't get to will be up on YouTube in a day or so. But here's some of the things I want to talk about today. And this is so important to me. When I started talking about this, and I've been doing this for many years. But there was a time where most trainers were really old school. They used to follow the old Disney trainer, Bill Kohler. The dog's digging holes, stick his head in the water. If he's jumping a fence, shoot a slingshot at his back to stop him. All that nonsense. And I kind of became the rogue because I didn't believe in any of that. I believe there was a much more positive way. And the way to do it is to make your pets a little bit more secure. So we're going to try to hit on that today, how to make your dogs feel secure. Many behavioral issues appear when your dog is feeling a bit insecure. But I just might have the cure, so I want you to stay tuned, how to build up and make your dogs feel really secure. And just like with people, secure pets are much, much better behaved and feel more comfortable in their own skin or fur, however you like to talk about it. Also, coming up on today's show, did you know, this scares me, did you know that of all the animal poisoning every year, and thousands are, of all the animal poisoning every year, 40%, over 40%, are caused by plants that are toxic, especially this time of year. So there are some plants that people say are toxic that aren't, and some are toxic. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I have a list coming up for you guys as well. And also, I've written 11, 12 books on animal behavior. They've been translated into pretty much every language in the world. And the bottom line is I want to talk about this because this is important to me. And sometimes people think that my way of looking is a little bit weird or strange. And if that be, so be it. But do you know what your pets are thinking? Think about that. Do you know what your pets are thinking? In the past, I've talked about your pet's ability to read our facial expressions. They can look at our face and they know what we're all about. Are we happy? Are we angry? Are we sad? But can read their pet's face? Can we read our pets? Can we tell what our pets are thinking by looking at their face? Now, I want to hear from some people out there, because if I believe this, if you really, really are in tune with your dog or cat, you focus on them. And if you focus on them, you can tell little minute differences. So my question is, do you know what your pets are thinking? I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Also coming up on today's show, I know what you're thinking. Okay, Warren, maybe it's time to take a walk. But playing fetch. Yes, playing fetch is part and parcel of a dog's life. Of course it is. They love it. But brand new studies have found that cats enjoy fetching just as much as dogs do. So let me toss this out to you guys. For my amazing feline lovers out there, does anyone have a cat that enjoys playing fetch? If so, give me a call and I will send you a fabulous gift. I want to prove to people that cats can enjoy fetching as much as dogs can. So if you have a cat that fetches, give me a call. Again, that number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. The question of the day is, as always, though, plenty of time to answer your questions. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question about jumping, humping, chewing, scratching, litter box problems, not housebroken, dog pulls you down the block, you get the idea. Great time to give me a call. That's what I do. I help you resolve those issues with your pets. But the question of the day is, many years ago, maybe not many, maybe that's 8 years ago, I was called to New York City to do a seminar on cats. I was called El Profesor de Gatos, the professor of cats. And it was a big, big place. And I went there and thousands of people showed up. And I'm going to post it. I actually did a class on teaching people to understand what cats are all about. And one of the things I talked about is the concept that cats really can be taught and enjoy to fetch if you take the time to do it. So that's the question I'm tossing out to you guys. I know my dog people are going to say something different, but can cats be taught to fetch? Can cats be taught to fetch? Come on, that's an easy question. Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. And the other question I'm going to toss out, Christmas is next week. By the way, I will be live next Saturday. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here next Saturday live. Do your pets know what gifts under the tree or under the menorah are theirs? Can they tell what is theirs and what's not theirs? Give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-5752. 5752 866 870 KRLA. That is the phone number and the way to get through to the Pet Show. Plenty of time for your calls if you want to see the face behind the microphone. We are broadcasting live on my YouTube channel as well. It's simply youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, and you should subscribe. It's free. As I said, I share a lot of information there as well. So we got a busy show coming up. Plenty of time for your questions and comments. You know that I brought up a lot of topics, but as always, your questions, your comments, your stories always are most important to me. I also want to hear some great Christmas stories. Who's rescued them? Years ago, people would go on the air and they say, listen, do not, whatever you do not give a pet as a gift for the holidays, including me. I remember doing a segment on the Letterman show talking specifically about what a bad idea it is to give a dog or a cat or any type of pet on the holidays. And then I started really thinking about it. It's a bad idea to purchase a pet and give it for the holidays. But I will not stop anyone to criticize anyone that goes to a shelter, a rescue, picks up a stray, and adopts that dog over the holidays. I think it's the great thing to do. So I'm kind of a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not an abolitionist. I don't think people should be buying pets for the holidays, but adopting with me, that's absolutely fine. And if you're thinking about a friend that you may want to adopt a dog or rescue a cat and they want it in the future, maybe the best thing to do is put a book. I can recommend a couple of good ones under the Christmas tree. Or maybe a litter box. If it's the right person, make sure it's clean. Maybe a bird book, maybe a fish book. And then after the holidays, when things settle down and people are back to normal, then you can go around and do that. But again, I don't care if it's New Year's Eve, Christmas morning, Christmas Eve, if it's an adopted dog that needs a home or an adopted cat that needs shelter in a home, I say now. I changed my attitude many years ago. It's okay to adopt over the holidays. It's okay. Makes it a little difficult sometimes because your house isn't set up the way it is, but if it's a matter of saving a life, I don't care. Save that life. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. I'm going to get to all your phone calls. I'm going to take a break first. Then I'll get to Jeffrey. I'll get to you, Paul. I'll get to you, Renee. This just came across this morning. Chewy, the big company Chewy, and 8 other companies are this according to Reuters. Chewy and 8 other companies are violating federal law by selling or making unapproved antibiotics and other antimicrobial drugs for animals that potentially give rise to drug-resistant superbugs. The U.S. health regulator said the U.S. Food and Drug Administration sent letters to 9 companies, including e-commerce retailer Chewy, warning them against selling the products that it said contained antibiotics such as penicillin and amoxicillin, because it could not only harm animals in the future, but could affect people as well. So I wanted to share that story with you. Chewy, 8 other companies. So always know what you're getting and where you're getting it. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me do this, Jeffrey. I know you've been holding on for about a while, Paul and Renee. Let me do this, though. Let me take a quick break here. We'll get to your calls. By the way, the best time to give me a call and get through is when I do go to a commercial break, and that number is 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. So do your pets know what gifts are theirs under the tree? I want to know. Give me a call. But right now, listen. Who else is playing this? Nobody. Only on the Pet Show will you have Porky Pig singing holiday songs. And thank you, Alex, by the way, for putting up the holiday music. A lot of it's kind of interesting, a lot of strange. But some people that don't even have pets listen to the Pet Show this time of year just because they like the music that we play. Okay, Porky, cut it out. We've heard you. Phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Our phones are busy. I'm going to get to all your phone calls right now. We got Jeffrey, we got Paul, we got Renee, we got Neon, we got, what a great name, Neon. We got Joanne. We'll get to all your calls. I'm going to take you guys right in order. Let's start with Jeffrey. Interesting. I'm writing Jeffrey's note, and it says that he has a dog has successful surgery. That sounds like a positive call to me. So let's go to Jeffrey in Mission Viejo. Hey, Jeffrey, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, good morning. Yes, I just wanted to comment on my 2-year-old Afghan hound's successful idiopathic chylothorax surgery a year ago. Very complicated disease. You don't hear much about it. The dog had 2 liters of chylo fluid. Are you familiar with this?
No, my background's more into the behavior than the veterinary, but I'm familiar with what you're talking about. So, but this surgery was successful. How old is the dog?
He's about 2 years and 3 months now. He had the surgery right at about a year and 3 months old.
Well, he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing great. There's not a drop. They rechecked him, and there's not a drop of lymphatic fluid leaking into his thorax. He had 2 liters of lymphatic fluid in there.
Well, so he's going to be around. He's going to be around for a long time.
He's going to make it.
So, Jeffrey, let me stop you for a second, Jeffrey, because you're kind of a weird guy. You know why?
Okay. Why?
There's not a whole lot of Afghans around anymore. Why did you choose the breed?
No. I actually have had greyhounds for 18 years. I was going to get an Afghan hound 18 years ago, and the more I read about them, the more I decided that the behavior of a greyhound is much easier to deal with than an Afghan hound. So after 18
come on now, Jeffrey. That's not true. There was a woman. Her name was Sunny Shea. Sunny Shea years ago was the top breeder of Afghan hounds in the world. As a matter of fact, her Afghan hound was the only one that won Best in Show at Westminster. How do I know it so well? And the line was called the Shahrazad line of Afghans. How do I know? You truly trained them. That's how I know. And then all these people came out, all these professional trainers and behaviorists and psychologists came out and said, of all the breeds of dogs, the Afghans are the stupidest dogs.
Well, I disagree. I disagree with that. No, you see why? The Afghan hound does what it wants to do instead of what you want it to do.
My point.
Is that the dumbest breed or is it the smartest breed?
My point exactly, that Afghan hounds are so smart they convince the public that they can't be trained just so we get off their back. That's
right, but they can't be. They're very difficult.
Amazing dogs. But people need to understand that's a different breed. These are gaze hunts. They sight hounds. They hunt with their eyes. They're always focused on a lot of different things, and they're just great dogs. So I'm glad everything went well with the surgery. I'm glad the dog is doing well, and I don't think there's a more beautiful breed than an Afghan running in fact, in my book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want, there's some great pictures of an Afghan on Long Island at Jones Beach that I was showing. Just beautiful. But we very rarely get calls on Afghans now, so I'm so glad that you called, Jeffrey.
Yes. Well, anyway, so chylothorax is a rare disease, but they've made a lot of advancements with it, and there's a few surgeons around that do it, and they fixed up my boy. So
well, I am so glad. Well, you give him a big hug and a kiss. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your Afghan. I am going to send you, I don't know what kind of food. I want to change his food or not. I'm going to send you a copy of my book, How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. When you're done reading it, the Afghan will read it back to you, I promise. True story, by the way. I mean, this woman, Sunny Shea, she was an incredible lady, pretty eccentric. She lived on Long Island at the same time I did. And she was like the Afghan breeder of all times. And I got to be honest with you, I am a big fan of Afghans and Irish wolfhounds and Scottish deerhounds and Borzois. I love the gaze hunt dogs. I mean, and greyhounds are just amazing breeds. 866-870-KRL. I better shut up and take some phone calls. Let's go to Paul in Northridge. Hey, Paul, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. How are you today?
Paul, I could not be better. How are you doing?
I'm okay. So when Simone was just a little over a year, I started. One morning, I actually videoed her playing fetch, bringing it back to my bed 3 times within like a minute and 20 seconds. I mean, she couldn't get enough of it.
But then you made a big thing about it, so obviously she enjoyed it and was getting rewarded for it. That's great.
Well, the thing of it is now, she doesn't do it so much anymore. It has to be on her schedule. And she will let me know when she wants to play fetch by bringing the ball and dropping it on top of my bed.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was talking about this to someone the other day. It's amazing how incredible our dogs and cats are at letting us know what they want to do and when they want to do it.
You know, you were talking about being able to read your animal's thoughts.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know Simone like the back of my hand. I know what she's thinking, what she wants to do, when she wants to do it. She talks to me. I know what she means. When she wants to go outside in my enclosed courtyard right in front of my apartment, she sees me turn the doorknob to open the door. So her way of telling me, besides sitting by the door, is by reaching up and trying to turn the doorknob in the alley.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Paul, I love when you call me because every time you call me, it makes me sound more normal. Every time. Listen, I got to move on. The phones are jamming. I'm going to donate. I know I sent you a gift before, so I'm going to donate a gift. Great call. Give Simone a big hug and a kiss for me. I'm going to take a break. Renee, I want to get to you calling from Atlanta, Georgia. I want to get to your call. Leon calling from Norwalk. Joanna calling from Jurupa Valley. Did I say that right? My New York accent comes out every once in a while. Do have an open line. Great time to give me a call. By the way, on today's show, I have hugs and kisses to give away for cats. I also have Arthur Suit Gold for hips and joints, copies of my best-selling books, hemp seed oil. I have Lucy Pet Food, lots of Lucy Pet Food. I got their treats to give away, those amazing T-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright, all natural herbal flea spray, no scoots soft chews. If you have one of those dogs that scoots its butt, I got allergy stuff, all natural flea spray, lots of great stuff to give away. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live on the air will get one of these fabulous gifts for their dog or cat. The question of the day is, can cats be taught to fetch? Do you think cats can be taught to fetch? Or question number 2 is, do your dogs or cats really know their gifts when they're under the tree? Can they pick out their own gifts? I'd love to hear from you. And if you give me a call and we talk, a great gift will be on its way. The phone number here, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. A great time to call me. We're going to be right back. Renee, Neon, Joanne, we'll get to you. But I do have an open line, so that number is 866-870-5752. Also, coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about really building up your dog and making your dog feel a whole lot more secure. Because, having worked with over 40,000 animals, I would say one of the biggest behavioral issues I deal with is dogs that are either lacking security because they've been trained with a heavy hand, which I despise, and they haven't been taught, or trainers that, you got a great call, by the way. Someone wants to know about training school. I'm going to get to you, Neon. But a lot of times when you're training a dog, people are taught this is the way you train a dog. Well, let me tell you right off the bat, having trained them on almost every continent, trained them for every possible training except some of the new advanced training that's taking place, that a confident dog, a dog that feels secure, has a whole lot less behavioral issues than dogs that don't. So we're going to talk about building your dog security coming up a little bit later. It's really, really easy. It's something that everyone can do. Let me take a quick break here. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. We'll get to all your calls, I promise. Chances are I'm going to blow off some of my topics, but why is that any different? I'm waiting to hear from someone who wants to tell me whether or not their dog or cat knows what's under the Christmas tree at the holidays. All of my dogs and cats, my chickens, my ducks, and my pigs all knew what gifts were theirs under the tree. They didn't have their names on it. I'm good, but I didn't teach them to read. But they knew what was under the tree that was theirs. And maybe I'll tell you how I did that coming up a little bit later. But right now, I want to tell you about my friends over at Nature. I listen to this all day long. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number is 866-870-KRLA. Let me do this. We're going to go to Renee, Neon, Joanne, and then my buddy Franco, the truck driver from Garner, Iowa. We'll try to get to your call as well, Franco. But right now, let me go to my friend Renee, who is calling all the way from beautiful Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Renee, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks so much. And I'll tell you, before I forget it, that you already gave me a shirt not too long ago, so I don't need a gift today. You can donate it.
I certainly will. Thank you.
In answer to the cat fetching thing, I take care of a variety of pets in a variety of places, and someone brought cats to me at their relative's house, and I met them there and took care of them. But while they were gone, I just happened to wad up a piece of paper, and one of the two cats, their brothers that are 14, looked around like, what is going on? What is that noise? And so I tossed it, and off he went. He grabbed it, he brought it back, dropped it right there at my hand. And then I pet him, and then I threw it again. So he will do this incessantly. And I videotaped it, sent it to the folks while they were out of town. And when they came back, they were gone nearly 3 weeks. I found 30 total wadded pieces of paper that still bat him around sometimes also to just play for himself. And he would knock them under the bed or the dresser or whatever, and then he couldn't get to them. So I just wad up another one.
So Renee, so, when you tell people that you have cats or watch cats that fetch, how long is it before they take you away to a loony bin?
Well, here's what I do: is I pull out a video and I show them.
There you go,
Julie, and I asked her to send it to you because I wanted you to see it because it's absolutely hysterically funny. And then also, real quick, I wanted to promo your books. They would be great Christmas gifts. Your books about how to get your dog to do what you want, how to get your cat to do what you want, and then any of the products. I use all of them. I buy them, and then I ask the owners for permission to use them with their pets, depending on what's going on. So Nature Vet, Hugs and Kisses, Lucy Pet, all of those, I buy them, and then the owners continue on once they see what they do. So
and Renee, will you tell people that we're not related?
Yeah, we're not related. That's not at all.
Anyway,
so,
you keep calling.
They're in my car. I've got them in my car right now. I have all the products in my car, and then I just use them as I go. And then people go, "This is amazing." And then when I show them videos, I show them before and after videos. Also, of if they've used Nature Vet for joint or whatever, or a dog that's been calmed by the CBD oil, etc. Or the quiet moment.
Renee, you are
Hugs and Kisses, looking at their coat. You are
such an incredible lady. I want you to do that. I want you to keep listening in Atlanta. All right. And I will definitely and give all those pets a big hug and a kiss, and give yourself a hug and a kiss from me as well. I'm going to drop you right now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to donate a gift to a local rescue or local organization, maybe even in the Atlanta area. Great call, by the way. That phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let's go to, we're going to get to you, Mario, but first we're going to go to Neon, Joanne, Franco, then Mario. Let's go to Neon in Norwalk. Hi, Neon in Norwalk. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. Yes, I'm interested. I want to learn how to train dogs. Maybe you can recommend a school in LA, and I'm visually impaired. Do you think I could work as a dog trainer?
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have any background working with animals at all, Neon?
No, I don't have any background.
So what is?
I think I hypnotize dogs. I hypnotize because when I say meow, they shut up. I don't know.
So you think you want to take your love and commitment to animals, and you want to try to make it into a career as a trainer.
Yes.
There's a couple of things, and you have to understand this is even new to me, okay? Because years ago, when I first started, there was no such thing as schools for dog trainers. For example, I had 14 people working for me at one time when I ran the largest school in the East Coast, but none of them ever went to school. I trained them myself, and they apprenticed for me for 2 years before they were able to go out and work on their own. So that's one of the best ways is to, if you can find a trainer, a behaviorist that's willing to take you on and work with you, that's fine. But now I also understand that there are schools. For example, years ago, I used to do lectures in upstate New York at a state university. It was an agricultural school, but I would give lectures on behavior and how to do this and how to do that. But there are schools here in LA. On the name, I don't have the top of my head, but I believe there are schools here in Los Angeles that do have courses specifically on training. I would check them out thoroughly, get references upside down, inside out. There's also a college. Why can't I think of the name of it? It's in the Valley. I know there's a college. I think they have a dog training course right now as well. Now, I want you to know I'm not endorsing it. I don't know these people. I've heard good things about them. So it's something you may want to try. I'm sure someone's going to call me with the name of the college, so you keep listening there. But that would be the best thing to do. If you can find someone that's willing to take you on as an apprentice, that would be great. But as I said, there are some schools and universities now that do teach a training in the last few years. Oh, it's Pierce College. Thank you, by the way. So Pierce College, I believe, has a course in behavior and training as well. So you might want to check into Pierce College, Neon, and see if they're there. Let me tell you about the profession, okay? Here's the hardest parts. You know, dogs especially feed on their owner's energy, and they seek cues from their owner on how they should respond to the environment. That's why, as a professional trainer, the first thing you need how to train is the guardians, the people. Because what happens is, no matter how good you are, or no matter how well I think I am at training animals, and I've trained a few in my career, it's getting the people to respond the proper way. So educating the family is important. And in fact, before I would train any dog, I would sit down with the entire family. I would get their expectations. What do you expect of the dog? What do you expect of the dog? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? If there's kids involved, I made them sign an agreement. So, yeah, I think it's a great profession. It's either 100% or nothing. It's kind of like medicine. You got to give it everything you have. The mind is always going to work on your part. You're always going to come up with new approaches and new ideas. As many years as I've been doing this, I just had a consultation this week where I kind of picked my brain and I had to come up with a new approach. Great profession. I want you to check out Pierce College, and if someone from Pierce College wants to give me a call, I'd love to hear from you guys, or some of the other schools, and I want to wish you a good luck. But let me do this in the meantime, Neon. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. That'll get you started at least in the right direction. Great call, by the way. You know, years ago, to become a trainer was difficult. There was, when I first started, there was maybe a handful of, well, there were trainers out there, with trainers training guard dogs, and there was the Disney trainers, there were the Frankins and people like that. They did amazing work. Franklin, by the way, the trainer of Benji, who I have the opportunity of getting to know and work with a little bit. But yeah, it's a great profession. It really is, provided you do it the right way. Here's my concern. Everyone out there nowadays, almost everyone, considers themselves a dog trainer. So I hear people email me and texting me, don't we go, hey, Warren, well, I'm working with this trainer, and he's recommending that the dog's barking excessively, and he recommended this collar that shocks the dog or sprays something at the dog when he barks. What do you think about that? Or this one's recommending an e-collar to train this dog, or this one's recommending a prong collar to train that dog. And you're going to run into trainers that use that. However, let me just state this for the record, once and for all. Put my reputation on the line here. In all the years that I've been working with animals, and I train dogs for the German police department, the Belgian police department, New York City. So those type of dogs, the more advanced type of training. In all my careers of training, now people do it differently now, but in all the years that I've trained dogs for every type of training possible, I have never, ever, 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 ever used a prong collar or electronic shock collar to do any of the training. And back then, when I was doing that training, I would have put up my dog's training to anybody else. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, otherwise Alex is going to go crazy. So I want to tell you about kitty lickies. And we are back on the Pet Show. What happened to my voice there? We're back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me go to Joanne in Harupa Valley. Did I say that right, Joanne? Jarupa? How do I say it? Oh, I have to click the thing. Okay. Hey, Joanne, you with me? Oh, gosh, come on. Hi, Joanne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is it Jarupa? How do I pronounce it?
Yoruba?
Oh, Yoruba. There goes my Long Island accent. Yoruba Valley. How can I help you?
Yeah, I have a cat who does play fetch, and he will do it for hours, but only when he wants to.
That's exactly my point. Cats are so smart that they're in. We know that cats are in charge. They run the house. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, they absolutely do. I have both cats and dogs, but he's the one that's in charge.
Yeah, and so when he wants to play fetch, how does he let you know?
He runs to the pantry where I keep the tinfoil because he likes tinfoil balls best of all.
And if you went out and you spent thousands of dollars on cat toys, I bet you'd still play with the tinfoil.
Yes, he doesn't like the cat balls. He has to have tinfoil balls.
And I'm assuming you. Listen, what do you want to play with today? Would you like me to do this? So what's your cat's name, Joanne?
I have three, but his name is Gary.
What a great name! Just out of curiosity, what are the other cats' names?
I have an Olivia and a Leo.
And your dogs?
And my dogs are Jax and Cassie.
Let me tell you something. Can I tell you something about yourself?
Sure.
When people bring a pet into the household and they give it a human name, that pet becomes part of the family, not just the family pet. So every one of your pets has a human name. I mean, it sounds like a poker game on a Friday night in Sherman Oaks. They all have these human names, and that's so important because that lets me know that your relationship with your pets is so special. And have you always named your pets after people?
I absolutely have. They are family to me, and the loss of any one of my pets is just as big as when I lost my husband and son.
People. A lot of people may say that's insane. I understand exactly, having gone through so many losses in my life, I understand exactly what you're talking about. Great call, by the way. You know what, Joanna? Let me do this. Let me put you on hold. I'm going to send you probably the most expensive. I'm going to send you a jar of my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your cats. And great call, by the way. Hey, great time to give me a call. I got a couple of open lines. Pretty rare. We got a whole other hour to go. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Frank, I'm going to get to you maybe not to this hour, maybe next hour. I know you're driving. Let me get a quick call to. Do I got to take a break here? Or am I all right? No, I better take a break. I got to take a break. When we come back, Mario, I want to talk to you. So let me take a quick break and then right back to your calls. I want you to listen to me carefully. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren X. I'm going to break for the top of the hour, but let me go quickly to Mario here. Mario, you with me?
Hello.
Okay, Mario, I only got like a minute here, but I know you're asking me about ACL, and you want to know who I would recommend for you.
Yeah,
and,
my dog has got diagnosed with a ACL, torn ACL. I took it to the vet. He wants like $1,800 to do it. I'm wondering if there's something out there that might be able to help me with that, please.
Let me do this. Let me do. I don't want to. I'm going to run out of time. Let me put you on hold. I got to take a break. We'll come back to you afterwards. I'll recommend some people to you. Let me take a quick break. The phone number 866-870-KRLA. We got a whole other hour to go. I got hugs and kisses, copies of my books, lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show.
Eckstein, the man for your pets. We tried to stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. He sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And if you love your dogs and cats and want to find out why they do things that they do, jumping, barking, digging, scratching, just want to understand their behavior a little bit better, just want to brag a little bit about how important your dogs and cats are in your life. I know I couldn't live without them. But if you have a specific question about them, chewing or jumping or barking or digging, or maybe your cat's not using the litter box or not feeling up to snuff, if you have a question about your dog or cat, that's what this show's all about. That's why we've been around for over 43 years, answering people's questions and really speaking to people that understand that we all love our pets, we all love our dogs and cats, and if we talk together, we can all work out and resolve any issues that they may be having. So just a reminder, this is The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Everyone that calls into the show and talks to me live on the air today will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Now, stuff I give away here specifically is related to perhaps the issue you're calling me about. And it's not like I'm giving away biscuits and milk bones. A lot of the items that I'm giving away on the show today are worth as much as $25, $35, $45, even $50. So if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat's behavior, just want to tell me how well behaved your dog or cat is, or maybe you're introducing or want to introduce a new dog or cat to your home, great time to give me a call. As I said, if you do call in and we do speak, a great gift will be on its way for your best friend. And the question of the day is pretty simple. I've gotten a few responses already. I see there's some more coming in. Do you believe that cats can be taught to fetch? Do you believe that cats can be taught to fetch? I want to hear from you. And also pop up another question here is, with the holiday just around the corner, do your dogs and cats or whatever other pets you have, maybe not your fish, know their gifts under the tree? I'd love to hear from you. And as I said, if we talk, a great gift will be on its way. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Before the last break, I was on the phone with Mario. Mario, you still with me? Hello, Mario. Mario?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so here's the deal. Mario was talking about what type of dog do you have, first of all, and how old is the dog, Mario?
It's a Havanese. It's a Havanese mix. It's about 12 to 13 years old.
Okay, so go ahead.
What?
It's a beautiful Cuban breed of dog, but let me go over a couple of things with you. Surgery can be very, very expensive. And there's a veterinarian that I think, as far as I'm concerned, is the top orthopedic veterinarian in L.A., Alan Schulman. I've known Alan for many years. But he's not going to be inexpensive. And I know you're asking me about price-wise. So here's what I'm going to recommend that you do. I don't talk about this enough on my show, but people should spend more time on my website. It's free, thepetshow.com. And the reason I bring that up, on the front page of my website, Mario, thepetshow.com, there's specifically a way to get financial help for pet guardians like yourself. There are different organizations that may be able to help you out, different groups that may be able to help you out, nonprofits that may be able to help you out. So I know I should talk about this more, and I don't promote the website enough, but it's not. Just remember, it's thepetshow.com. Besides all the great information there, the articles, the videos, whatever, and there's a lot of super info. There's some stuff about me there. I don't know if you want to know or not, like me training mobsters' dogs. But anyway, go to that in the front page, financial help for pet guardians like yourself, and that should be able to help you.
So, Warren, you said at petshow.com. I got more information there. Is that what you're saying?
Go to that's my website, thepetshow.com, all one word. Go to that front page and take a look at that article and see if it helps you out.
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure, go ahead.
My dogs are a little bit heavy, on the heavy side. The vet told me to cut 10% off of their whatever their intake is. Is there a easier way? Is there a way I can do that without being, easier way for me to do that?
Yeah, here's, I wrote the book called Pet Aerobics many, many years ago, talking about exercise and making sure that dogs were in good shape. So exercise obviously is important as well. But in terms of food, what often happens is when the vet says to you, listen, your dog needs to lose weight, and believe me, every vet says it, including my own vet, hey, Warren, take a pound off your dog. The bottom line is the way to do it is not just to totally cut back on the food. It's to feed smaller amounts of food, but more frequently throughout the day. Any good dietitian, whatever it is, will tell you the best way to lose weight is to eat small amounts more frequently throughout the day, and try to replace certain treats. A lot of people don't realize that there's a lot of calories in treats, so you can use like a piece of carrot or something as a treat instead. So I understand what your vet is saying. Getting that weight off is really, really important, especially if there's going to be any surgery involved. But the way to do that is small amounts more frequently throughout the day. That will make the weight come off a little bit easier.
Okay, Warren. When you say throughout the day, is that like 3 or 4 times a day?
Yeah, in other words, if you're able, 3 times a day is great. If you can 4 times, but just smaller amounts more frequently throughout the day. You can add a little bit of no salt broth to it. You can add a little bit of even warm water to it, just so it looks like they're getting more without necessarily getting more.
Yeah. Does the kibble make them gain weight?
Well, well, anything. Water can make you gain weight if you have too much of it. Follow whatever the bag says, the amount of food the bag says. Cut back a little bit on that amount, but smaller amounts. Just remember, smaller amounts of food more frequently throughout the day. That's the way to go.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, by the way, also, when you go to Mario, when you go to the website, I know you told me to donate your gift, I will. But when you go to the website, what you're going to find there also is lots of other information that may be really helpful to you as well. So,
okay, all right. Thank you again for your call, your show, everything. God bless you, and have a good Merry Christmas.
And Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas to you and yours and your Hamanese. And thank you. Have a great day.
Okay.
Keep me posted. You have a great day now. I love people like that. They're so concerned. I love my stuff. All right, listen. Here's the bottom line. One of the most important things that you can do for your dog and for your cat, but even more so for dogs, is to make them feel secure. This is an article I wrote a while back, and I want to share it with you, and I want to hear your response. So if you have a response to it, please feel free to give me a call. Someone asked me the other day, Warren, why do dogs need a routine? Dogs that have a set routine that they come to learn and rely on are dogs that feel settled and secure in their own lives. Let me say that again. Dogs that have a set routine that they come to learn and rely on are dogs that feel settled and secure in their own lives. That's why dogs react so differently when they're at a shelter. This helps to improve their emotional health and their well-being. It's important to note because a dog that has a routine and so feels secure is far less likely to develop behavioral problems or act out. So setting up a routine for your pet is really, really important. I mean, obviously you can't stick to it exactly, but try feeding the same times and playing the same times and walking the same times can make all the difference in the world. And we all know by now that making a dog feel secure, I would honestly tell you, and I hope you hear me out on this one, that a vast majority of the behavioral issues that I deal with are dogs that are not feeling confident, are dogs that are not feeling secure. It's people that hadn't taken into consideration the importance of having a consistent routine, and we know how important that is for people, just as important for our pets as well. The number here, 866-870-KRLA. I still got plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away. 866-870-5752. Also coming up, let me toss this out at you. Do you know what your dog or cat is thinking? Give me a call. I'll send you a super gift. Do you know what your dog or cat is thinking? In the past, I've talked about humans being able to read facial expressions. But can people really read their dog's facial expressions? We know that dogs can read ours. Do you believe that your dog can read facial expressions? I'm going to prove it to you in a little bit, but I'd love to hear from you guys as well. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick call from my friend Franco, the truck driver from Garner, Iowa. Hey, Franco, what's happening?
Hey, Warren. Sorry about the lame horn. I took your advice and stopped picking on the chickens, and now I haul biodiesel.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's much better than what you were hauling anyway. So I'm seeing from... Go ahead.
All of my cats, I've had 5. All of them except for one were big fetchers. Some of them more than others. I've got my first female gray tiger stripe tabby, and there's a story there, but her name is Boy Kitty. Maybe another conversation, but I lost... Yeah,
that's another conversation you may need to have with another therapist, not me.
I lost 3 out of 4 cats and your book in a breakup. So wink, wink. It's been a long time.
You lost my book in a divorce case?
Yeah, and I'm hoping...
That's a first.
Wink,
that's
wink.
A first.
Anyway, thankfully I quit smoking, but all the cats started with the cellophane from the pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And now, Boy Kitty, somebody gifted me kind of a green rubbery tube, and that's her favorite one. Every morning when I wake up, the tube is right next to bed, wherever I'm at. If I take a nap on the sofa, whenever I wake up, there's this little rubbery cat toy. And she's like, come on, Dad, come on, Dad. But, you know, like people have relayed earlier, it depends on the cat. But I think we've done it up to an hour at times. And
Wow.
other times she, maybe does it twice. But we'll just go, and she just loves it.
And you know what the important part is, all joking aside, Franco, the important part is when a person has the opportunity to be owned by a cat, it's important for them to really focus on the cat's behavior and try to read the cat. Just like people, every cat is a little different, every dog's a little different, every person's a little bit different. And there's so many things that we can do to establish even a closer relationship with our pets than we might already have, just by kind of watching them and rather than saying what we want them to do, is watching them and say, what would they like to do? What do you want to do? What does my dog want to do today? Does my dog want to go out and play today? Do my cats want to play today? We have such a human ego that we anticipate and expect, and so many trainers do the same thing. I want my dog to do it my way. Well, I negotiate with my pets. There are times when I was training really advanced dogs that I had to do a different ballgame. But right now, Molly and Willie, I negotiate with them. I don't say, let's go outside. I say, hey, would you guys like to go outside now? What do you think? Is it too cold out, too early? Is it too dark? Do you want to go outside and do what you got to do? So, yeah, it's amazing when people can pick up and relate to the personalities of their pets and adapt accordingly. So where are you driving to today, Franco?
Actually, like I said, I gave up the chickens and I'm hauling biodiesel, and that's why I don't know if you could tell the difference in the horn, but I thought about driving down to my truck to be authentic, but I got lazy and it's raining, so that was my Dodge minivan horn instead of my truck horn.
I know. You know what? I'm going to send you another copy of the book, okay? But before I do that, I just want you to know, isn't there a big political thing coming up in Iowa?
Oh yeah.
Is it
January?
Yeah, someday we'll understand what the word caucus means. But anyway, listen, Franco, don't go in there. I'm putting you on hold. You're going to speak to the lovely Suzette's going to pick up, and we're going to send you a copy of how to get your cat to do what you want. That's a first. He lost a copy of my book in a divorce. Unbelievable. Hey, great time to give me a call. I do have a couple of open lines. I know everyone's out there shopping and whatever. I want to hear your intake. Coming up, a couple of real important stories we're going to talk about. Did you know that 40% of all pets that are poisoned during the holiday season are poisoned by plants in your home? And you may not know which plants you should have and which plants you shouldn't have. So we'll talk about that. Also coming up, we're going to talk about the concept of reading facial expressions. And we'll talk about that when we come back. Plenty of time for your calls. As I said, I do have a couple of open lines. I do have Hugs and Kisses, Orthrosuit Gold, copies of the book, Lucy Pet Food, T-shirts, all natural herbal flea spray, and many, many other amazing things to give away for your dogs and cats. So great time to give me a call, even if you just want to answer my question or whether or not you believe that cats can be taught to fetch, and you should believe it by now, or if you believe that your dogs or cats can really tell what their gifts are under the tree. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Many, many years now, you hear me talk about Lucy Pet. And we are back on The Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call if you have a question or a comment, want to share a great story. Anyone ever get a dog or a cat for the holidays named Mistletoe or some name? Anybody have a dog or cat out there with a holiday name? I'd love to hear from you guys as well. I will send you a great gift. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, or if just a question about chewing, jumping, barking, wildness in the car, mounting, litter box issues. I do have plenty of time to help you guys cope with your pets and more than likely help your pets cope with you. So it's a great time to give me a call. I still got lots of great stuff to give away to every caller. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Before I get to the phones, you know, humans can read dogs' facial expressions according to new studies. Listen carefully, and it's something I've been talking about for a while, and I'd love to hear your response to it as well. Research out of George Washington University suggesting that guardians can read their dogs' faces, especially dogs whose faces are a single color. It might be harder to discern what a dog with a multicolored face is thinking. Humans were most likely to correctly read the faces of dogs between 2 and 7 years old. Senior dogs were less expressive, researchers found, perhaps because their owners already knew them that well. You can learn, and they say if you can learn to read their faces as well as they learn to read ours, it really would increase that human-animal bond. I believe this 100%, absolutely 100%, that if you really spend time, and I mean spend time, a lot of people take their dogs for a walk and they love their dogs. They give them the best veterinary care. They might hug them. They may kiss them. But do they really spend time trying to get inside and understand how their dog or cat thinks and what they're all about? Boy, let me tell you, that improves the relationship tremendously. And as this study suggests, it's not hard. You can learn to read their faces as good as they've learned to read ours, but it's going to take some time and patience. So let me toss that out. Do you people, anyone out there, think they know what their dog is thinking? Do you think you know what your dog or cat is thinking? Or am I crazy? I look at Molly and Willie and I'll say, you know, Molly feels like doing this and Willie feels like doing that just by looking at them, because I'm so in tune with them and I observe them so carefully. So maybe I'm the only one. So that's the question now to you guys. Do you do it as well? Do you really believe that you can read your dog's facial expressions and understand what they're thinking? I'd love to hear from you as well. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. And by the way, let me give that again. So earlier we had a call from a gentleman. His dog had ACL. And he wanted to know the cost factor, and it's not inexpensive. I gave him the name of who I consider one of the top veterinary orthopedists in L.A. But if you go to my website, thepetshow.com, and someone just texted me and said, Warren, plug your website. Just go there, thepetshow.com. On the front page, some great articles there. If you don't know about Warren, you can know more about Warren than you want. There's a whole great article in there about when I trained Carlo Gambino and all the mobsters' dogs, and there's a great podcast. So you got to check out thepetshow.com. But the reason I bring it up is not because of that. I want you to go there because on the front page, if you have a dog or a cat and they need something and financially it's a bit of a burden, one of the organizations that we have posted on that front page might be able to help you. So check out thepetshow.com. Don't forget that it's thepetshow.com, thepetshow.com. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Larry in Azusa, then Joseph and Teresa. Hey, Larry. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Warren.
What's up, Larry?
You hear me?
I can hear you fine. What's up?
Warren?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, a friend called up and said Tachi ran over a little black kitten in the street. So she wanted me to come and see it. Well, she didn't run over, thank goodness. A little black one that hadn't opened its eyes yet. Uh-huh. So we bottle fed it a while. And then I had a cat calendar, and all of a sudden it says, this cat may look like a jaguar, but he's a Bombay cat, and he fetches. Well, sure enough, this little black kitten fetches.
It's interesting that you were able to find Bombay cats, one of my favorite breeds. There's a lot of breeds of cats out there that people don't know of. The Cornish Rex, Devon Rex. These are cats that, by the way, if you have an allergy, if someone has an allergy and they want a cat in their house, maybe one of the cats that would be best for them would be the Devon Rex or the Cornish Rex. But anyway, getting to what you're saying, the Bombay is a wonderful, wonderful cat. And you're sure it's a Bombay?
It is so sweet. So what we did, the street the gal found it on was Navarro Street, so we named the cat Navarro.
It's a great name. So you didn't have to teach it to fetch; you just picked it up on its own.
Yeah. I just and I was surprised.
What's Navarro's favorite thing to catch? What's his favorite thing to fetch?
Well, there's a little furry ball that you can get a hold real easy and
well, I'm so glad. First of all, bless you for taking.
But you were talking about dogs. Read your expressions.
Yeah.
All my cats read my expression. If I look angry, they know it, and if I look sweet and they're a little tense, they relax. It works.
It's not only the facial expressions. Cats are so astute; they pick up the vibrations. But this is something a lot of people don't understand. Cats have an incredible sense of smell, just like dogs, and sometimes they can pick up on the changes in our body chemistry based on how we're feeling. Anyway, I got to move on, Larry. Don't put Larry on hold. And Larry, I am going to send you for your cat. I'm going to send you some Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for your cat as well. Great call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still got plenty of time, an open line or two. We're going to get to you, Joseph. We're going to get to you, Teresa. But right now, I want to ask your help about an organization that You know this is my favorite, Dominic, the Christmas donkey. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I still got some time for some calls, so it's a great time to give me a call. Still coming up, we're going to take a look. We're going to get to you, Joseph, and Teresa in a second. But let me do this, and then we'll get right to your phone calls, okay? I'm talking about cats and fetching. A lot of people calling in today saying that cats do fetch. Playing fetch is part and parcel of a dog's life. These are stuff that I post on my YouTube channel every day, so you should check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Subscribe, it's free, but I post stuff like this every day. You know, playing fetch is part and parcel of a dog's life, but now scientists have found many cats enjoy it just as much. A first-of-its-kind survey of over 1,000 cat guardians has thrown up new information about cat play habits. Not all cats will want to play fetch, but if they do, it's likely they will do and have their own particular way of doing it. So basically, the bottom line is, do cats fetch? The answer is 100%. Yes, cats can fetch. Many cats love to fetch, but, let me just remind everyone, it's a cat, and they do it on their terms. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to my friend Joseph. Hey, Joseph, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. What's up?
First of all, I just want to say I love your show. It's very relaxing. It's very calming. I like listening to it. And I appreciate the work you do. You do great things. My question is, recently I've been looking. I don't have a dog at the moment. I don't like the word own, but I've lived. I've shared my space with other dogs, 2 other dogs in the past. 35. In a new apartment, and I've been looking to adopt, but I've had a hard time finding a place, especially getting good responses. I don't know why. It seems like they're in need, but there's this rat terrier, though he looks like he's maybe bred also with a collie because he's like 50 pounds or so, but they said rat terrier on the site. I want to adopt, and I just want to get your thoughts on the breed and find out, if they have good temperament. And also if you have any suggestions for if this doesn't work out, maybe low-cost adoption agencies in Los Angeles or even free would be better. That would certainly suit me at this point in time.
There's a lot of groups. I think Pasadena Humane was one. I think SPCA in Los Angeles and other groups out here over the holiday season had some either free adoption days or low-cost adoption days. It's definitely, if that's what you're looking to do, there's so many animals that are in need of homes right now. So a lot of the nonprofit organizations are offering discounts of adoption fees as well. And I'm sure someone's going to call me and say, well, try this one. This one has, I'm not sure how long they have, but I would call around. And also, if you go to my website, there's a list of nonprofit organizations, and many of them may be able to guide you as well. Now, in terms of what you're asking me, this is a rat terrier. I love rat terriers. They're great dogs, but a rat terrier doesn't weigh 50 pounds, okay? A rat terrier is kind of a small breed. So you're assuming the rat terrier is blended with what other breed?
It looks like a border collie, maybe, or some kind of collie.
And how old is the dog?
3 years.
And where is the dog now?
Paw for Life or Canine.
So he's at a nonprofit rescue?
Correct.
Okay, so and have you met the dog, and what's the dog's reaction to you, and vice versa?
I'm hoping to. I just started the conversation with the people. They seem interested. They've been very responsive, thankfully.
Great.
A lot of the places, like I said, I've had a hard time with the responses. It just seems like
which amazes me. Everyone's asking for money, and yet I've got a dozen calls in the last couple of weeks saying, I'm trying to find a dog to adopt, but they put me through the ringer. But there are some great groups out there. So here, if this group is working with you in a positive way, and the fact that you're calling me up for this dog, it tells me that it's fate. This dog should be yours, Joseph.
Thank you. I hope so. I've always been like one of those people where, like, if my friends have dogs or cats that aren't friendly with other people, they always seem to take to me, and I'm very passionate about
I can tell just from the way you're talking to me, the fact that you already haven't even met this dog, but it's the dog to take, and they might know more about the dog's background than you, but it makes no difference. I don't care what the dog's background is. You can call me every week if you have to on the show, and I'll try to guide you through this as well. It's an interesting. But I know you said something at the beginning, and I just want to confront it. For many, many years, when people talked about their dog, they would say, I'm a dog owner, or I own a dog. And then it became really bad to say owner, and everyone wanted to say, I'm my pet's guardian or my dog's guardian. Let me explain something to everybody out there, okay? I've been doing this radio show for over 43 years. And when I get off the air here, I do my radio show for Radio America and Armed Forces Radio. It goes all across the country, pretty much the world. And from my perspective, when I hear someone say, listen, especially someone a little bit older, I own my dog, I'm a dog owner, there's no negative connotation with that. In their mind, they love their dog as much as the person that uses the word guardian. Personally, I use the word guardian. That's me. But I never negate it when someone uses the word owner. They're not using it as a negative for the most part. I guess there are some people that are. But, when we were brought up, these were the terms we used. And literally, I meet people every day say, hey, Warren, I own this great dog. You got to see him. And I got to tell you, I wish other people that use the term guardian would treat their dog as well as this owner treated their dog. So I know you said that, and I know that's a big, big push in the humane community. And I admire the fact that they're doing it. But just because you use the term owner in terms of instead of the word guardian, in my mind, it doesn't mean you're going to treat the dog any different. When you bring that dog into the home, as long as you treat the dog as part of the family and not the family dog, I'm a happy guy. So I know the terminology is back and forth a little bit, and not only here. Come on, watch the news. I don't even know what to say anymore. What's right, what's wrong to say. I don't know if I can say this or I can say that. But the bottom line is, I never get upset. I had a veterinarian. She actually did a podcast with me, and I used the term owner. And the reason I used the term owner, I was reading an article about a study, and she said, Warren, you can't use the term owner. I said, are you saying to me that I use the term owner, and you think that I don't love dogs and I don't love animals because I use the term owner? That's how I was brought up. Doesn't mean anything. So I kind of got a mixed emotions about that. I admire the people that want to use the word guardian, but I don't want to knock the people that grew up and used the word owner because they love their dog for the most part as much as everyone else.
May I give you just a quick anecdote? Because I think my mom might be listening. I sent her the link.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my mom owned I used to
there you go.
For about I think she lived for about 15 years or so. Her name was Layla, the sweetest dog you'd ever meet. She had to be put to sleep about 2 years ago. She was getting arthritis and stuff, and it was time. But I've never seen a sweeter dog in my life. And if my mom's listening, I love her and I love Layla. And thank you for your time. And,
well, no, don't go anywhere. Don't go over. Listen, I love your mom too. I can tell from you what an incredible woman your mom is to put someone with that kind of heart and soul on this planet like yourself. I want you to give me a call back when you get the dog, Joseph, but in the meantime, I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to be speaking to another incredibly lovely person, the lovely Suzette. She'll get your name and address, and I want to send you a copy of how to get your dog to do what you want. Now, you can rest assured that next week I'm going to talk about it. People say, well, you can't use the term owner anymore, Warren. You got to use the word. Listen. I don't care what word you use, provided your dog and cats are loved, treated properly, and treated as part of the family. I have literally seen people in tears because someone said to them, oh, you use the word owner. You got to use the word guardian. Knock it off. Just knock it off. If someone loves their pet and takes care of their pet properly the way they should, listen, if that's the word they want to use, I'm not one of those people that's going to change words, just the way I believe. So sometimes you'll hear me use the word guardian. I prefer the word guardian. It doesn't mean I don't like the word owner. But sometimes when I'm doing a story or an article, you'll hear the word owner pop in only because I'm dragging it right out of this specific story. Hey, great time to call me, by the way. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Do have an open line. I got some time. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. As I said, we will be live next Saturday as well. But right now, let me get back to the phone lines here, and let's go to Teresa in Glendale. Hey, Teresa, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you.
How can I help you today?
I just have a quick question. I have a wonderful Morkie, and she's 3 years old, best behaved dog, love of our lives, but she mounts one of her beds, and we don't know if we're missing something, if she's frustrated, or if this is normal. Our veterinarian just kind of laughed it off and said not to worry about it, but she does it a lot.
Is that the only thing? Is the only thing that your dog is humping and mounting? Is that one bed?
That's all.
And tell me about that bed. Is it something you wash frequently?
No, I'm actually afraid to wash it because I don't want to get fabric softener on it that would hurt her. Or
No, yeah, and a valid point. But let me tell you, whenever your dog, and I'm assuming do you have a backyard?
No, but we do walk her.
Okay, so here. This is exactly the point I was getting to. This is something I've dealt with many, many times. When you take the dog, that bed is her comfort zone. That bed is her world, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when you take her out for a walk, and she comes back into the house, she's just picked up all the different smells of all the other animals that are out there, whether it be a cat, a possum, a horse, a rhino walking down the streets, or who knows what's walking down the streets of L.A. So when she comes back into the home, and she gets to the place where her comfort zone is the strongest, which in many cases is the dog's bed. The humping of the bed is not sexual, so there's no need for a cold shower. There's no need for a copy of Play Dog magazine. What you need to understand is that by going over and mounting and humping that bed, she's just establishing or reestablishing her dominance and authority over that, bring that she had the other sense from other animals coming into the house. Now, that can even be caused by you walking in the house and maybe step in an area where a cat walked by or something, but that's why she's doing it. Absolutely nothing to worry about it. Let her hump away. It's a good way for her to kind of say, I feel good. This is mine. I'm going to take care of it. But that's the way dogs do it. They don't put their name on it and say, hey, this is my bed. This is mine. No, what they'll do is they will mount it. That's why very often, people will call me up and say, Warren, I have a male dog and he's mounting another male dog. Does that mean the dog has a sexual preference for male dogs? And I explain to them that most of the time, mounting is due to dominant behavior or claiming behavior. It's not necessarily due to sexual behavior. So I'm assuming your dog is neutered?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so there, you take him for a walk, he smells like the dog, says, you know what, I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to go to my bed where I feel the most secure, and I'm going to make sure nobody else gets to that bed because I'm going to hump it, and that's how I dominate it. Does that help you out a little bit to understand it, Teresa?
That helped. That gave me a tremendous piece because this is my first small dog, so I was wondering, am I missing something? Is she, is this a behavior that's showing me that she's lacking somewhere in attention, but I feel much better now.
And Morkie's a great dog, by the way, with a Maltese Yorkie. Have you had her since she was a puppy?
Yes, she was 3 months old when we got her.
And what's her name?
Bree.
And you never had a small dog before?
Never. We've always had bearded collies.
And that's a breed that you don't see that much anymore. One of the most intelligent breeds out. Do you know how many bearded collies years ago that I put through their obedience titles? What an incredible breed of dog, the bearded collie. You used to see a lot of them. You don't see many bearded collies nowadays.
No. One lived to 18 and one lived to 17.
Just incredible dogs, a herding breed as well. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dogs. But you know what happens? Like anything else, because they were so beautiful, at least on the East Coast at one point, they became so popular.
We got them.
And everyone was breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding, and the end result of that. So anyway, great dog. I'm trying to think of what I want to say. How old did you say the dog is now?
She's 3 years old.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to have a lovely conversation with Suzette, and I am going to send you some Lucy pet food for your dog. And yes, let her hump away. By the way, if you just turned on, this is the Pet Show. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRL. Yeah, I'm looking at the clock, Alex. 866-870-5752. Quick break, then right back at you. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. If someone listening to the radio, no one knows they're listening to the Pet Show, and all of a sudden they're hearing that music. By the way, I want to thank Alex and Suzette, but Alex for putting that music together. It's great. It's great. It really makes me smile. Anyway, we have like a minute or so left. I just want to remind everyone that it's the holiday season. Be careful with your pets. Know that where they are at all times. People coming and going. I want you to check out the YouTube channel. I am sharing. If it sounds like I'm pushing it, I am. I share a lot of information at the YouTube channel, so I want you to check it out. YouTube.com/Warren Eckstein. Now, here's the deal. You know, as soon as I get off the air here, I go to my national, Canadian, worldwide radio show on Radio America and American Forces Radio. You can start calling at about 1 o'clock. Write this number down. Same type of show. I give away the same type of gifts. The show starts in about 3 minutes. The phone number, 877-725-8255, 877-725-8255. Now, if you're calling from Southern California, you have a jump start. The show starts, I think, at 5 minutes after, so you'll be ahead of the rest of the country. So give it a call, 877-725-8255. Until next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you again for listening to The Pet Show.